Earthlings, I'm Trice, and I'm back in New York City, and I've had a really hard time picking what type of video to film today. Usually I'm all obsessed with how to manifest zillions of dollars, but that has left me so empty and hollow in light of these wild current events. I recently drove home from Montana back to New York City, and I see helicopters and sirens and broken glass and boards all around me. And I got this question on my channel. Can you tell me why everything is breaking down? I feel like the universe is maybe doing this so that there's room for more to come in. And I agree, although it is very painful and a heart-heavy experience. I really do believe that when things fall apart, they're not falling apart, they're falling together. I'm going to show you what I mean on a non-emotional example. Imagine you have an old rickety house. There's two things that you could do to it. Gingerly restore it, as opposed to going in there with your bulldozer and knocking the whole house down just so you can build a new one. It seems like in this current events, what's happening is the house is being bulldozed. The whole way the collective consciousness had thought as a group has shifted and changed. And I'm going to show you two rays of light, how other people agree that they're changing for the better. I read this comment on Jake Juicy's channel from CC. I'm African American and I've noticed a lot of unity between all races and I'm loving it. We are one. I love it too. We're all humans, we all bleed, we all have hearts, we all want the same thing. We want to be rich, beautiful, and happy, and smart, and successful. Everybody wants the same thing, it just looks different. The manifestation of those things just look different to each person. Beverly said, my son is a policeman in Lexington, Kentucky. He was on the front line of the Sunday night protest. A lot of the protesters got in his face, and for whatever reason, he reached out and hugged two of them. The locals caught it on a video. It was truly touching to see a policeman with a billy stick in one hand and with the other hand hug someone who was in his face. The world needs a hug. Not to oversimplify it, but I truly believe that love changes the world. And I'm going to tell you a cautionary tale that just breaks my heart of how where you place your focus, that's what you have the power to do. Where you place your focus creates all the magic or destruction. Now, warning, this is going to feel counterintuitive, or at least it felt counterintuitive to me until I could see the full picture. My friend was taking an acting class, and he said in the acting class, they were only allowed to give positive feedback. They couldn't say anything negative. And my old self really had a big problem with that. And I'm like, well, what about constructive criticism? How are you supposed to get better? That's where the meat and potatoes is. But I had it all backwards. We think that focusing on the negative is somehow going to automatically make things better. But it actually only causes more destruction. Recently on my community page, I asked, why are you guys watching my channel? And I got that idea from Instagram. They had 100 users when they started this app called Button, whatever, something, not Instagram. And they weren't getting any momentum. So they asked 100 people not what was wrong with it, not what was crappy. They asked what they liked about it. And it happened to be the photo sharing feature that turned it into the zillion-dollar company it is today. I showcase this because it's so easy to get this wrong, especially when the world feels like it's on fire. But what we focus on expands. And I'm going to showcase how I took my eye off the things I wanted to create and seeped into the despair and destruction and then got more of that in return. I went home to Montana at the beginning of the pandemic. My energy was scattered and falling down the rabbit hole of watching the world burning. Let's see what the Corona update is today. All this stole me from the opportunity that was right in front of my face. My poor cat, Jinxie, died of kidney failure on May 30th, but it possibly could have been prevented or extended if I was not focused on destruction. The signs are so obvious now that I look back. It breaks my heart that I didn't see them in time. And even though that's just my Jinxie, my kitty, that same principle applies to the whole world. If we want a beautiful, glorious, magnificent, accepting universe, then we focus on creating that. Not the, you're doing it wrong, you shouldn't be doing that, you were bad, you were good. All those words divide us. So I'm going to share with you my one fun trick to keep my attention on what I want to expand. I don't know where I read this, but I once heard that if you were a prisoner of war, the people around you could tell if you were going to die soon. If you stopped shining your shoes, that was one of the telltale signs that this person isn't going to make it. And it's not about the shoes or looking nice. The burning desire in them, the will to live, was fading fast. There's been 2 suicides in my circle of people that I know. There has been people getting fired, George Floyd getting murdered, looting in the streets all over the country. There has been the coronavirus and deaths, and it feels like, holy hell. My solution might not look exactly like your solution, but the essence is always the same. Find something that soothes your soul. It's not selfish, it's not greedy. It will heal the world. Like for me, that is getting dressed up. Even if I have no place to go. If you see this office, it's completely empty except for me and my party dress. Because it makes me feel like there is going to be something to get dressed up for in life. And you might as well start celebrating that fact today. Let me know in the comments below. I don't find it easy. I find it a constant reminder to be like, where am I going to place my focus? What am I going to focus on today? What world am I trying to create? This is not a sob story video, but I just felt like I wouldn't be being honest or real if I just marched on and pretend that this wasn't affecting me and weighing heavy on my heart. I am the type of person, if I can say something, it lets it go and it frees me to let more joy come in. And I have some really fun videos for you. I know I talk a lot about money, but Trice is a master at attracting pretty much anyone she wants. They could be famous, they could be rich, they could be the love of your life, a goddess, a benefactor. I'm gonna make a video for you. And I'm gonna mix it up this week with my ASMR video and do something nobody has ever done before. And you can vote because I haven't filmed it yet. It's gonna be an ASMR what's in my purse video. Oh, they're so calming, guys. If you're like, who cares what's in somebody's purse? It doesn't require any brain cells. It ignites a little bit of curiosity and it soothes you into sleep instead of hanging out in your worried mind. But I always like to add a little bit of value, so I thought we could add some I am affirmations for wealth and abundance, and your choice, soft-spoken or whispered. I know some of you hate whispered. I love whispered. Until next time, ciao.